Well, good morning, everybody. Once again, Miss Kara Peterson sitting on my left.
And Randy sitting on my right.
With Links and Libations magazine and podcast. We're coming to you from the heart of southern Wisconsin in Lake Geneva.
But we're traveling down to Port Orange.
Port Orange, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
But I want to know where everybody is living and commenting from. So after this video, let us know where you're from.
Share this video, like Links and Libations Facebook page, go to the brewing company, and they're going to have them tagged on here. It's Tomoka Brewing Company, I think. There's Ed. We're going to bring Ed in now.
Bring Ed in. Yay!
Hey.
We'll be here in just a few seconds. It's hard to fly and do dual. We're going to get this plane off the ground here in just a minute, Ed. It just takes a second to migrate up to our site. But in the meantime, there he is.
Hi, Ed.
How we doing?
Hey,
Ed, how are you?
You can't get good looking with us. You know, it's your.
Yeah, I know.
Ed gets up, looks in the mirror, and he says, "I can't wait for tomorrow because I get better looking every day." You know, it's all a good thing. So, anyway, good morning, Ed. How are you?
Good morning. Not bad. Not bad. Just hanging out in beautiful Daytona Beach right now. So, had to run and help somebody at a radio station, and now I'm talking live on Facebook. So,
well, you know, I used to be a general manager at a radio station, one of the most fun environments there ever is. But now we can do it visually. We can see you, Ed. It's a crazy thing, you know. It's almost as good as radio. Yeah. So
I'm jealous that he's at Daytona Beach
right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm about 3 blocks away from the ocean right now, so it's a beautiful day.
How long have you lived there?
I've actually been in Florida myself for about 31 years now. So, yeah, I'm 37. So.
Well, and you've been brewing since he was 6, so it's not a problem. So how did you get started in this business? What's the history, and tell us your story. Hello? Uh-oh.
Did we just lose Ed?
Uh-oh. Ed froze.
Ed.
Try to reconnect, Ed. If you got us, you can. Do we have to get started?
Oh.
Hello.
Oh. I heard a noise.
Somewhere in there. Well.
Oh, now.
Oh, there he is. You're back.
Yeah. Wi-Fi seems to be dropping. It's weird.
That's all right. We'll just be patient.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, you're fine. You're back on.
Okay. So I've been with the brewery since the day we started. We actually have been around since 2013 in our original spot in Ormond Beach. I started as a home brewer myself and really started to want to get into the craft beer industry. Actually, it was mostly because of a documentary called Beer Wars, where I found out about Dogfish Head and really started to see what Sam Calagione has done, and inspired me to kind of get into the business and try to, give people some,
We'll wait for the. Go ahead. We'll wait for it to catch up.
I lose you again?
Hold on, just.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
you're back.
You're
back. You're back. We'll clean it up.
What did you get? Hang on.
We got to.
All right. Is this better?
All right. Yeah, it is. Very much so. Thank you.
So I started, as a home brewer myself. I met with our owners and brewers, Pete and Jen, when they were first starting the business. Actually, I'm the first employee they ever hired, and they've been stuck with me ever since.
So how many years has that been then that you've been doing that?
Officially, they've been in doing the business side of things for about 5 years. The Tomoka Brewing Company, our current location in Port Orange, has been open for 3.5 years right now. We started as a small little 1-barrel brew house in a small place in Ormond Beach. Got some notoriety through Best Florida Beer. We won a gold medal for our Elvis Peanut Butter Banana Brown Ale, which is a...
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And actually, it was Jen, our brewery is basically run by a husband and wife team. It was Jen's recipe when she was home brewing. She perfected it. And I just remember that day when the three of us are at that event, and she's, kind of nervous because we knew that we got something. We had 2 beers in, and all of a sudden she sees it's for her life's, her dream all of a sudden. And it was an amazing moment. But we got some notoriety out of that, and met with another couple, Rich and Sue McCarthy. and they kind of helped us expand into our current 15-barrel system in Port Orange. And we've been operating out of there for 3 years while the original location is still open as a restaurant. Glad to see I'm not the only one having technical difficulties.
No, we had just had a minor earthquake here in southern Wisconsin. They happen about every 50 million years. So, it just happened to have one then. No, Uncle Randy just ended up getting his arthritic hands tangled in the power cord. But I was reading your site. It says all natural ingredients, full flavors, unique combinations. These brews have a kick. The boldest comes straight from organic, local, and sustainable taste. Not some gross mix of chemicals. Well, that's very cool, because that is, that just adds a very wholesome, situation to it. Now go back to this Elvis. I want to go back to that. So we know Elvis had a little penchant for a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter. So how does that and bananas, right?
So basically, Jen, who she is, like I said, the wife of the the husband, or the one half of the couple, that started the whole thing. She basically started this beer as a homebrew recipe through the Hogtown Homebrewers Association out in Gainesville, which actually has produced a lot of great breweries. Swamphead came out of there. Gosh, I can't remember. There were a few others. First Magnitude, a bunch of other great breweries came out of this small little homebrew club. But, we first brewed that. Actually, I think the first 2 beers that we brewed on our 1-barrel system were our Pumpernickel Porter and the Elvis Peanut Butter Banana Brown Ale. And those were the 2 that actually took medals at that particular event. It was our first big event since being open. And one hell of a way to get started,
I'm going to tell you, that just sounds fascinating. Well, the theory behind what we're doing, Links and Libations, golfers golf, then they sip. But if they can sip and have a peanut butter sandwich while they're doing it, I mean,
So how do you guys come up with your recipe and your names? They're so interesting.
A lot of it is a lot of creativity comes from Jen. She's unfortunately she's a little nervous to do live media, so I'm doing this for her.
I'll bring her in. We haven't lost anybody on any of these flights. No, everybody lands safely. It's sort of fun.
Yeah, I wish she was actually doing we're actually designing another beer coming up soon. A specialty. I'm not going to get into the name of it, but it is going to be working with a WWE Hall of Famer, Kevin Nash. So we're looking forward to that.
Can imagine that's going to be fun.
Yeah, super nice guy, and he came into our brewery. We talked to him about it. He's like, "Yep, let's do this." It's a kind of a thing from when I was a childhood fan of pro wrestling. It is a soap opera kind of thing, but
sure.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I get to work with a childhood hero. That's awesome.
Well, as long as you don't have to smash the glass on your forehead when you're done with it, I mean, everything's fine.
Oh no, slam it on the ground. But
that'll be fun. Yeah.
Most everything, it's mostly culinary inspired ingredients for like the Tom Yum Thai Goza, which is one of my favorite beers that we do. Traditional style Goza with lemongrass and sea salt. But then we add 4 different chili peppers to get that, almost. Yeah, it was actually inspired in Orlando, the Mills 50 district. Jen and Pete, they were at a Thai restaurant, and they had the Tom Yum soup, and she's like, I could make a beer out of this. And it's actually really crazy to see that beer, because we're only distributed in Florida through most of the state. And we've seen it pop up, in trades up in New York, California, all over the place. Yeah, so it's an interesting thing to see some of these beers just, the way they're blowing up. But it's just a lot of creativity that I would say, Jen and Pete have. And I've been lucky enough to come up with some names, help out with some of the beers, and brew a few things with them here and there. But, I actually gave up homebrewing because of this brewery, because one of the first beers I got to help brew with them was actually our Oceanside White IPA.
Ooh.
We did this in collaboration. When we first started, I know a lot of brewery reps, or a lot of breweries have the issue of waiting for government approval, and how that takes time. Well, that was the year the government shutdown happened. So our approval went from 4 months of wait to 7 months of waiting. So during that time, we could only get our name out by collaborating with other breweries, and asking, hey, would you work with us, and we'll put the beer on. We'll throw an event for you. We'll help promote, your brewery as well as ours, that kind of thing. So one of my favorites up in Jack's Beach called Green Room Brewing Company. The brewmaster there, Eric, took us in, let us brew. This was actually the day after my 33rd birthday. I got to brew this particular beer with him, my boss, and their assistant brewer. And I mean, now I'm talking to you about it for a living. So, good reason to stop. Good reason to just be like, all right, I'm going to let the people that know what they're doing continue the brewing side.
Right. Well, we want everybody that's watching our little presentations here. They're not little. They're going across the world now at this point in time. But
Awesome.
You're living in an area. What we know is there's a lot of headlines for Florida about the red tide and the problems that are down there and the hurricanes and such. But you're not on that side. Florida is still open for business. And we're going to be featuring in our magazines starting in October, November, December, and a little bit in January, bringing the snowbirds down to Florida. Because golfers golf, they sip, they eat, they sleep. Everybody goes to a spa, but everybody goes out and has a beer or two or three or four and relaxes.
Or just a keg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After a round,
Well,
and you're in a golf mecca. The last time, I hate to say it, the question I have, how far are you off the beach then in Daytona?
We are actually, our Port Orange location is about roughly about 2 miles away from the beach. We're actually off of Dunlawton, or actually Clyde Morris and Herbert in Port Orange. So if you get back out, you go travel across the bridge, you'll be at the beach in about 10 minutes. Yeah, depending on traffic.
So in spring, you have such a beautiful facility. I was looking at your website. Everybody should go to Tomoka Brewing Company CO, tomokabrewingco.com. Take a look at this, their facility. Absolutely beautiful. There's one picture of I have to ask you about this. It's got a lime, an olive.
And a cherry.
And a cherry? I can't, it looks almost like a...
it looks like a bloody...
Is it a bloody berry?
Let's see.
I want to do a Bloody Mary beer so bad, but we haven't really gotten to that. I think we were doing, I haven't even seen the newest beer that we did. We just released a beer called Hops of Thunder, which is our new pale ale. Because, of course, we have a big, rich racing history here in Daytona Beach. So, of course, Days of Thunder being filmed. So we have that. I haven't, actually, it's been trying to think. One of the other things is we have, because you mentioned that a lot of people will, look for different places to go have a beer or two. We're actually a full restaurant and everything. So we've got an award-winning chef that makes some amazing food. It's hard for me to lose weight because I go in there and he's just like, "Here, eat this."
So what kind of food does your restaurant serve? Or what are they known for?
We have a little bit of everything, from your burgers, your pizzas, which our pizzas were what got us notoriety for the restaurant when we were in our Ormond Beach location, which is actually 2 blocks from the ocean. But we brought that kind of inspired menu over to the Port Orange location, and then with the help of our chef Mark, who used to be at a place called The Garlic in New Smyrna, which a lot of people know about. He came on board and helped us out, and he's done some amazing foods. Like one of the specials was a gumbo that he did that I had a gallon of.
Nothing wrong with that. It's okay. We'll let it go this time. Until the next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But,
so in the springtime, when you get your college kids, you get a little spillover from the beach coming your way, or is it far enough away? How does that work?
We get a good mixture. We get a lot of locals, in our tap room, especially for lunch. We get a lot of people that come just for the food, and then some that come just for the beer. So it's a good mixture of both, of both types of, both demographics basically. So we're pretty lucky to have that local following where we can get that, but then tourists will come in, try, different beers. And I mean, one of the things I've seen over the past few years, we started out as the first brewery in Volusia County, the first craft brewery in Volusia County. And we've grown to have like 9 different breweries now. And people are actually coming from all over the state just to check out different breweries. And we just happen to be lucky enough to get so many people that want to come and try our food and beer at the same time.
Well, we want everybody to share this. We'll send the links to it put it on your Facebook page at your place. We've had great success. People love what they love to hear straight from the soul of the company. You've done a great job. I'm sure they want to come in there and help you with your diet, share some of your food, and help you sort out what the chef has for you. Looks like a great place. Are there any big events you have coming up? Are you event driven or?
We have a lot of different things. We actually, because of that Elvis beer that we told you about, we do an annual Elvis day upon the release of that. We have that's probably one of our biggest events. We have a impersonator that comes in, and he starts out as 50s Elvis, and actually throughout the day changes into each version of Elvis. And then we kind of put on different variants of that. For the most part, our Facebook page, we update everything. We have different events. We're actually doing a beer dinner. One of the other brewmasters or brewers, his name is Pete. He's actually Hungarian, and we're actually doing a traditional Hungarian beer dinner with him. He's going to come up with some of the ideas because they all started as chefs, but he's been brewing and everything as well. So with with him working with Mark, we're going to have this amazing dinner paired with some of our beers, and I'm really looking forward to that. We did one with cereal recently, and I missed that. I was very upset that I had to wait another day.
Who knew? Well, listen, you've been a treat. We want to get you on frequently. If you have any big events coming up, all you have to do is text us. We want to get you in our Links Libations magazine, and I think we're going to come out with a directory in Florida because everybody in Wisconsin. A lot of snowbirds up here. We call it the snowbird migration, and it begins in November. Golfers golf, then they sip. That's our motto. So, they come down in flocks, and all of Florida is not closed. East Coast is very much open, and
they got a beautiful facility.
Yeah, they have peanut butter, bread, and banana beer.
Yeah, we're very resilient here. We make sure the storms might scare some people away, but we keep coming back. So
he just walks the beach and collects shells. Anyway, we really appreciate it, Ed. You've done great. I hope you have a good time with the radio station, and we look forward to having more information. Everybody, please do something. Like us, like
their page,
our page. Share this when you go to their page. Share it all over the country. We know that Florida is a big destination. It's the biggest destination. You're not that far from Disney World. Going to the beach, you're not that far from
the Raceway.
Well, they also send a missile or two up occasionally. It's good to go down to Cape Kennedy, one of the most interesting places to go. And you got the Golf Hall of Fame that's about an hour away up in, you got St. Augustine. So Daytona is perfectly located right on the beach. The sunrises are beautiful. I can tell you for a fact, I've been to Daytona, and some of it I can remember because I was there back in my college days. There you go.
And have a beer or two or a keg, take a keg home.
Exactly. And aside from us, we have a lot of other really great breweries. We're all friends with everybody here. So I would highly recommend grab some food with us, drink a lot of our beer, and then go try a couple from some of the others as well.
Well, that's what we're doing. Sean Nordquist, who we've worked with down there, who is we did an interview with, has been great to work with, and he's helped us really. He is wonderful. He's a good friend. We've been working with him how to do this properly and get the good message out. But we just have fun. We know you have fun, and that's all we do. Every day in our world is having fun, meeting great people, and we call it living life fully and celebrating life every day. So we look forward to talking to you again, getting you in our magazine, and getting people over there to have a sip or two. So
definitely. And speaking of Sean, real quick, I run into him all over the place. The most interesting one was Great American Beer Fest last year. Walking downtown Colorado, all these people that I'm looking at, and all of a sudden Sean yells, "Ed, Pete!" and I'm glad you guys work with him because he's definitely a good resource to have, especially for us with the Florida Brewers Guild. Running that and working with them. So, all right. Well, I'll let you guys go. I'm rambling on.
No, you can always come back. We'll just have. We're going to have the. We'll have your Saturday morning show coming on live very soon.
Definitely.
Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Everybody go to their page. Tomoka. Is it Tomoka? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, Tomoka Brewing Company.
Tomoka Brewing Company. It's TomokaBrewingCo.com. is their website. Go to their Facebook page, like them on Facebook, like us on Facebook, and he'll be sharing this link soon. And again, everybody make some comments. Let us know where you're coming from. Thanks again, Ed. We really appreciate it. Have a great day. Have fun in the radio station, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Have a beer or two.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye, Ed.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.